It's dead now.
That dang bird, or whatever, the play Ron was in.
What?
Ron was in the play.
He was in a play?
It was an adaptation of The Seagull at the Bardstown. It was called, like, That Dang Bird.
That dang old bird.
And I remember thinking that it was the first time I was like, what? That dickhead who does stand-up and is mean to everybody? He's doing a play with a silly he's doing Tonight Only Entertainment with Renan Hirschberg.
And that dang bird.
That dang bird. I think it was, I assume it was The Seagull.
I have no idea.
That's a dang bird.
Yeah. Let's see here. What happens if I Google that dang bird?
Oh, I thought you were checking the levels. You're just Googling.
I already did the sound check. That dancing bird?
No, that dang bird. It was at the Bardstown. The only people who might know about this are dead.
That's true. We really can't ask the only person who would be like, oh yeah, that dang bird.
That dang bird? I know exactly what you're talking about. Unfortunately, I died. Nothing ungoogleable.
There's a bunch of Angry Birds ripoffs that are available online.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Damn birds. Play on crazygames.com.
Play on
crazyvirus.game.gov. giving your middle school computer lab a virus.
Yeah.
.com.
Remember how there was always like, and you would be like, oh, I know a website where we can actually get games on the school computer.
Yeah.
Was there a school where people were like, I know a website where we can get porn on the school?
I saw a kid watched porn in the computer lab one time.
They're all passing around porn website. They're all writing it down on a little strip of paper.
You never had a kid who was like, I found the one that's not blocked.
No, I mean, to do what?
I know, right? That was always my thing. I was like, what's our end game here?
Yeah. I'm at least getting to play Tetris.
Yeah, I can for sure play damn birds.
Yeah, come on, man.
I don't have to, like, what do you think, I have a photographic memory? I'm going to pull this back up later? I'm just going to... I remember the way her tits bounced.
We gotta fix the security on the computers. Everyone in my class is beating off.
Did you have to do the thing where you put the cover over the keyboard and you have to like type without looking at the things?
No.
No?
No. They should have done that though.
Because now you type with
I do. It's called
fingers.
Hunting and pecking. I hunt and peck. I'm like a chicken.
Yeah, you're like a dang bird.
Yeah, that's a fun phrase that will be lost to history.
Hunt and peck.
The hunt and peck technique of typing.
Hunt and peck sounds like someone's name.
Yeah, Hunt and peck.
My name is Hunt and Peck.
I've had 3 meetings this week with Hunt and peck.
Still haven't managed to close the damn deal. Hunt and Peck is a real cunt.
I'm meeting with Hunt and Peck and Rob Burt.
What about Dick Dreyfus?
There's a guy named Rob Burt.
Rob Burt.
No, that's
I'm going
fun.
to change my son's name is going to be Eric. But
Change your son's name. Is this what you're going to finally announce?
I'm going to spell it as Air Rec.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he's going to play football for LSU.
Yeah. AL Rec. Go Tigers. AL Rec.
Air Rec Sorgel.
AR Rec. It's like a bad wrestling name.
You think what are you going to name
No,
your
it's
son?
a punk. It's a punk.
Rex?
It's a punk name, but it's the guy doesn't realize it's supposed to be like, you're supposed to make it like a bad word or something, like toxic shock or
yeah. That's just Air Rec.
It's just the day he's like, yeah, my name's Eric.
But wait until you see my license.
Yeah. We've got Johnny Genocide and Air Rec.
Get it? All right, this is better if I spell it out.
Some guy up there smiling. He's like, I'm Eric.
This is going to look good in spin, okay? It doesn't play well verbally. So your new Cybertruck wouldn't start when you were coming over here, or what happened?
Elon Musk busted me looking at porn in the Cybertruck. They turned it off. Yeah, our kids. Can Elon Musk ground people? You know, it is funny. Everyone's like,
he's all for free speech.
Yeah, but everyone always talks about electric cars.
You think he's ever like, when he tries to ground one of his kids, and they're like, "What about freedom of speech?"
What about freedom of speech?
I'm allowed to call Grimes a bitch.
I bet he doesn't. I bet he doesn't ground his kids.
I bet he doesn't remember all of his
Yeah,
children.
I bet he has very little interaction.
There's one that could pop up, like pass by him on the street and ask, be like, "Hey, Elon," he'd be like, "Ugh, don't talk to me."
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna know all your kids. No, but Elon Musk and all these people, they're all like, people are worried about electric cars and shit. Like in that context, they're like, "Oh, well, the government could just shut off your car."
Yeah,
you could not pay your bills, and the government shuts off your fridge, or like whatever.
Yeah,
but it's like that's just proof that that fear is proof that we truly are in an arrested development, regressive age thing, because now even adults are worried about getting grounded.
The infantilization of the American populace.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Has come to fruition.
Everyone's like, the teens became the 20s, and now the 20s are becoming the 30s.
And now we're all worried about getting detention.
Yeah, it's like everyone's worried about getting grounded.
I'm in ISS.
We're worried Dad's going to cut off the car. Like, what? No wonder everyone's like, oh, I'm 40 wearing a Rick and Morty hat. It's like people are worried about getting grounded.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah,
of course adults like My Little Pony.
No wonder grilled cheese restaurants are sweeping the nation, man. They're threatening to ground us.
Yeah. Yeah, what's next? President Lunchables?
Yeah. Grounded is weird because it sounds like it should be a thing that comes from aviation.
Yeah.
Like, you aren't allowed to fly anymore. You're grounded. And then somehow that spread to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But it's like, what did it mean the other way?
It's true.
Like, what the fuck? Like, where did that phrase come from?
Well, it's pretty strict, so maybe it did start as a military term.
In the old days, it was like, you got to sit on the you're so bad, you got to sit on the ground.
No chair.
And then slowly it was like, well, kids like sitting on the ground now, so we'll have to take away something else.
Turns out all these kids want to touch grass. I don't get it,
but grounded. It's like, that sounds like a thing you should do to a fucking guy at NASA. not
what am I, Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah, you're worried your kid's gonna fly? You're worried your kid's gonna fly?
What are you, Icarus's dad?
Yeah. I gotta make sure my shithead son doesn't turn into a helicopter. At least not until his grades get up.
Yeah. Before you get up?
Yeah, if you want to get into the sky,
up.
you raise them grades.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is weird. Where's grounded come from?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's a military term that then a strict authoritarian father.
Maybe it was from the Navy.
No more
ocean
for you. Grounded.
Well, his Navy predates Air Force.
Does it?
Probably. The Roman Air Force. And it's just some guy with a kite.
Whee!
It's like, I'm going to get him. I put a knife at the end of the kite. I'm gonna swoop it down and get him.
Yeah, I mean, what is a kite runner?
Yeah.
It's a book, right?
It's a book.
And there's the maze runner.
So I got my nephew, he's 6, and I got him a book for Christmas it teaches you how to make paper airplanes.
Yeah.
And then inside of it, there's a bunch of cool pages that you can rip out and make paper airplanes with. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, he loved that. So I was like, great, for his birthday, I'll up it. I'll get him the kite runner. Fucking nothing, useless.
Nothing.
It was extra confusing because I ordered it on Amazon. I said it delivered to their house.
Yeah, it just showed up one day.
Yeah, and then my brother's like, why'd you get him this? And I'm like, what?
He loves paper airplanes.
He loves paper airplanes.
Next step, kite.
And then I didn't know what was going on. It wasn't until I visited.
And on his 18th birthday, I'm going to enlist him in the Air Force.
Yeah. Yeah, how many parents bought? That's probably why the kite runner is so successful. People are like, I'll also get a free kite.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely in the middle of the book. There's a kite that you can rip out.
Yeah. They say that if you're like on an expedition, you should bring a big book. And then as you read it, you can use the pages for
to
like
wipe your ass.
Wipe your ass or start fire or whatever. And it's like that the kite runner, after you're done, you can
rip it up.
Perfect beach read.
Woo!
Yeah, kite runner is a perfect beach read.
When you're done, you'll know how to make a kite.
Yeah, it is kind of a beach read.
It is.
Because it's beach written, too. Yeah, what is beach? Does beach have to have water? How much water do you need?
How much water do you need to constitute a beach?
Can a gallon puddle in the center of a desert...
Are you at a beach?
Are we at a beach?
Are we at a beach? If I spit in the middle of the Sahara 20 times,
the guy takes a leak out in Western China.
If I spill my canteen in the middle of the Mojave, am I now on a beach?
That would be the best thing to do if you're like, oh, I'm worried I'm gonna die out here in this desert. I'm stranded.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this. The best thing, we're going to run out of water. The best thing to do is pour your water out into a puddle, and then it will become a beach.
And then that's more water is going to come.
No, and then real estate. Real estate investors will instantly be
all
there.
of a sudden, that lean-to you built has doubled in value.
Yep.
It's on Zillow.
Yeah.
It's an Airbnb by breakfast.
Exactly. That's the best. If you're ever lost, just put up like a listing.
Yeah.
If you're ever lost, go to Reddit r/travel tips. Go, hey, anybody ever been here?
Anyone ever made a beach?
And the next thing you know, Drew Binsky pops up to film a YouTube video.
This is a new country.
Check out this new country. This guy made it by peeing in a corner of the desert.
A corner.
A corner. I was trying to think of the word hole, but a hole is kind of a corner.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It has corners.
Quit picturing the world laterally.
Think of it vertically.
Yeah.
What about lateral integration? What would that look like?
Is Tool ever going to release Verticalis? Is that even the name of that song?
No, it's not. What is it called? Lateralium or something? It's not a stupid name.
Dude, I'm always shocked that my math teacher wasn't more into like, hey, you guys are excited for calculus? And we're like, no.
Then, well, listen to Tool.
And then she's like, check out this. She's like, this song's called Parabola.
Okay. I also don't like this.
Solve for Tool. Man, the winner gets Maynard James Keenan.
Yeah, you get a bottle of wine.
Bottle of fancy wine. That creeps me out. That like industrial, it'll be like, this guy removed his ribs to suck his own dick.
Yeah.
And here, do you want to drink his wine? It's like, no. Like Trent Reznor.
I don't know if I have the same taste as that guy.
It's like Trent Reznor's Rido would have in his rider. Rido. I abbreviate rider. In his Rido.
It's my Rido.
In his rider, Trent Reznor, it said you needed 2 jars of Crisco.
Yeah.
So you could get into his leather pants.
Sexy.
And it's like, yeah, I don't want to drink that guy's aged beverage.
You can keep that.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
You can keep that. Listen, I'll drink anyone else's poison.
Yeah. They're like Maynard James Keenan. A guy came on stage once and he tackled him and then he sang a whole song while humping him against his will on the ground. And it's like, yum, I'll take a glass.
Yeah. I'll try Pete Wallenek's wine.
That definitely doesn't have blood and or bodily fluids in it.
No way. There's some cross-contamination there.
Yeah, I trust that.
Speaking of people making questionable substances, have you had any of Bert Kreischer's vodka?
The
yet?
Osos.
Dosos.
Poor Osos.
Poor Osos.
Poor bears.
Did you watch that video of them on that sports show?
I did. You got to tell the audience at home.
They, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura of podcasting fame.
famous podcasters.
Of shirtlessness.
One shirt, two guys.
One shirt. One shirt, two guys. Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. It was them and Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Not John McAfee's brother.
I'm going to start pronouncing it that way. Pat, like, somehow I know Pat McAfee, but I don't know how to... I've only read it. Oh, you mean Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
But they stormed the set.
They stormed the set of Pat McAfee talks to people.
Talks to sports.
I'm confused by that show because it looked like he was talking to one guy.
Yeah.
But then also in the room, in the corner, there was just a bench of 4 other guys.
Well, they're the next guests.
Are they?
It's a sports show. Of course there are got people on the bench.
I was about to say, it does kind of make sense that, like, it's a very sports-minded, like...
Well, he's an athlete.
That's true.
That's all he knows.
In the old days, if you were like an athlete who wanted to go in entertainment, you'd have to go through entertainment.
Yeah.
But now you can just hire a guy. So he's probably like, perfect, I'll do a talk show. We'll hire him to be our coach. We'll have that guy do offsides for the talk show.
There's a rep.
Cheerleaders for the talk show. A rep for the talk show. We'll start off the talk show by me kicking a ball.
Who's the commissioner of this talk show?
We'll face other talk shows.
This talk show has a new owner.
Pat McAfee show is going up against who else is a sports figure?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith. Who can yell?
Who's yellier?
Bert will interrupt one, Tom will interrupt the other.
Boom, boom.
No, those guys are done. I think if you're a comedian and you're advertising alcohol and or gambling, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Especially when...
Remember when punk bands... Remember selling out? Like, I know that went away as a concept, but, like, come on,
Come on, dude.
Read a book about, like, the 70s. Come on, man. Listen to a Ramones song. Come on, man.
Jesus.
Listen to a Real Big Fish song. No, it is crazy. It's like, oh, the 2 richest comedians, and they're like, buy our vodka.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Also, I've
vodka?
spent the past year distancing myself from my supposed best friend because of his alcoholism.
Exactly.
Now it's time for us to team up on a vodka.
We're selling
which
vodka.
is where you end up as an alcoholic.
It's weird. Like, imagine in like when Norm Macdonald was a huge gambler.
Yeah.
Imagine back then if you'd have been like, hey, gamble.
Everyone.
Like me.
FanDuel.
Be like me.
FanDuel.
Yeah, Kevin Hart has more, but he owns everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Kevin Hart seems like a guy who does stuff because his wife is like, I'm going to leave you unless you make more money.
Yeah. Just keep making money.
Yeah, but no, he does all these. I constantly see ads for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, aren't you
Well,
all...
they're not ads for him. They're ads he's in.
No, they're ads for him.
What do you mean?
It's like FanDuel presents Kevin Hart. No, I'm just kidding. It's Kevin Hart's It's Kevin Hart's ads. It's Kevin Hart trying to get me to gamble on sports.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you're already doing.
They always look like they're being filmed in his house.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Every Kevin Hart... you know, I'm going to build a case that Kevin Hart's on house arrest.
I think he's stuck in Jumanji.
Yeah, like he was in that movie. He's
in both of them.
Well, not both would be. He's not in the old one.
Well, there's been 2 Jumanjis.
Not the
recent one.
Yeah.
So he's in both Jumanjis.
He's not in all 3.
I said both.
But that doesn't make sense.
Okay, fine. He's been in 2 Jumanjis.
Kevin Hart played Robin Williams. Kevin Hart was Kirsten Dunst's stunt double in the original Jumanji.
Yeah. Kevin Hart was David Allen Greer.
Oh, he was in the yeah. Wow, what a pull! You really know Jumanji.
I watched that movie a lot when I was a child.
You really know your Jumanji.
Yeah.
What was it, a shoe factory?
Yeah.
You didn't even have joy when I brought that. You're like, yeah, of course.
Fucking idiot.
Dumbass.
And there's a homeless man.
Yeah, homeless man in a shoe factory.
Yeah, old Robin Williams just finds a homeless man as a child in an adult's body.
Yeah.
And then Colonel Mustard or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I love that guy who's hunting them.
Yeah.
That's so fun because you're a kid and you're like, this guy's wild. What's his backstory? And then you're an adult and you're like, oh, he was like a racist African colonizer trying to hunt children. That's a weird thing to put in the game.
Well, at the time, it was probably relevant.
Was it?
I don't think so, no. It was definitely, it was a little closer to being relevant.
What came first? Because I know they had a Jumanji board game.
What came first, Jumanji or
Or
colonialism?
people getting sucked into Jumanji. No, colonialism had to come first.
Yeah, how else would we even know where Jumanji was?
Yeah.
If we weren't out there
Because
looking.
we went and we went over to Israel and we got all the Jews
Yeah.
when this country started. We put them on a boat and we brought them over here.
1776.
And we said, get out to Hollywood.
Start writing.
And we had a bunch of whips. we were like, make the movies. Go on, make the pictures.
Make a move.
Go make a movie.
Make a move.
That would be wild. They kind of did that with Germany after World War II, where like they like took all Operation Paperclip, where they took all the smart people, and like everyone's like, we're gonna take all the smart Germans.
Yeah.
But that would be cool if there was a place where they were like, hey, there's an island in wherever where they make really good music. Let's like slowly kidnap them so they can make music for us. Like it's slavery, but because they really, really like the people.
Are you talking about the ghettos of America?
No, that's when it came by accident, but I'm saying where that's their plan. Where the King of England is like, you got to get me some of those Swedes. They're hilarious.
God, those Swedish people.
And everyone's like, fight. It's a race to steal Swedish people to bring them back to your country so that they'll do a funny dance.
I'm a Swede.
I'm a Swedish guy. Everyone's like, do it. They live in a castle.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah.
You sound fucking stupid.
This guy rocks. We got to send another boat and go get more of them.
It is funny in that Bert Kreischer video that football player is by far the funniest person in the room.
It smells in here all of a sudden.
You guys smell. He literally just goes, which is like such like a fourth grade insult, but it's like
He's like 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just what they deserve.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You guys smell.
No, those good boys stink.
I'm sure they do.
No, if I could see a lot of these comedians, I would give them a slap on the wrist. I'd be like, yeah, remember... I'd be like, no, you're right. Yeah, remember Richard Pryor's Reebok ad? And fuck, yeah, no, who doesn't remember that? George Carlin presents Zippos.
Sam Kinison, go where the food is.
Yeah.
Golden Corral.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Everybody loves those. Hey, that was a great one. Sam Kinison for Golden Corral. And then he died, and then they were like, we'll get Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now that Sam Kinison is dead, we have to get another right-wing Christian.
Yeah, yeah. Now that Sam Kinison's been murdered by Bill Clinton to cover up their sex.
You know who
they would have
needs
sex with each other.
You know what I would like?
Anyway, do you know that's the rumor?
What rumor?
That Bill Clinton had Sam Kinison killed because they like had sex with like an underage person and then need to cover it up or whatever.
Sam Kinison had sex with an underage person?
They both did.
They
had a threesome with an underage.
That is like
child.
the weirdest threesome of all
I know,
time.
right? But wouldn't it be funny to find out that is a true conspiracy, but there just was no girl involved?
They just had sex.
They just had sex.
Sam Kinison and Bill Clinton just fucked one night.
They just had sex. And then Bill Clinton's like, I need to cover this up.
I gotta get rid of this.
This
is bad for America.
I pitched, he catch. You heard him on stage. Imagine how loud it was at the neighbor's house. Hearing Sam Kinison going, I forgot that was literally one of his bits.
Yeah.
One of his punchlines was literally getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah. Yes.
God, Sam Kinnison's a genius.
He's one of the greatest of a generation.
He's the person that most makes me feel like I don't completely get it.
Oh, I don't get it at all.
The way people are like, he's the last original voice.
It's like,
I'm like, really?
because he's loud?
Because he yells?
There's other people who have yelled.
Who in the 80s was doing Dimitri Martin? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, you don't even have to dig that deep.
Yeah, like I'm not even saying this is good, but who, like...
Yeah. Mike Birbiglia seems to take himself pretty seriously. That's new.
point to me someone in the 60s, 70s, or 80s who would wear a tank top and run around. Oh, nobody? Oh, okay. But
right.
Dane Cook's not original somehow? One guy yells and wears a duster. You know, people probably said that because they were probably like, damn, Sam Kinison yells and is overly serious and wears a duster. And then like 4 years later, they're like, wow, Bill Hicks is wearing a duster.
And talking about roller coasters.
Sam Kinison must have really been a trendsetter. Everyone's going to be wearing dusters for years to come.
Hey, it went on for a while.
Name one other duster.
Kevin Smith.
Oh, wow, you're right. You ever see a guy in a duster?
Yeah.
I saw a lady.
There's a woman I work with. This young lady. She wears a leather duster.
How does she get into work? By plugging a USB stick into her brain and entering Zion?
I really want to go up to her and be like, "Hey, can I take a picture of you and have your phone number, and I can send it to you in like a year and a half? Like, I won't even have to wait that long."
You don't think she'll still be wearing a duster in a year and a half?
No, I don't think anyone who's 22 has the same clothes when they're 24.
Oh, so she's like very young.
Yeah.
I pictured this as just being an eccentric person wearing a duster.
She's 55.
But it's like, this is a young lady figuring it out.
She's just figuring it out.
She's like, maybe I'll wear a duster. How about asymmetrical hair and a duster and then one roller skate?
I got here on my pogo stick.
Yeah. None of that worked? Okay, what if I'm a rapper who wears plaid and I'm a Christian?
What if I gain weight?
What if I gain weight?
What if my metabolism slows down?
What if I gain weight and start being a slut?
I got a new idea. I'll be a whore.
Hey, those are the phases. Pogo stick, asymmetrical hair, wearing a duster, Christian girl, or
slutty.
chubby slut. I'm going to indulge.
I'm loose.
I'm going to indulge.
I'm a fast girl.
Stuff all my holes. And then she's eating a burrito.
Have you ever had a threesome? No, but I have ate a burrito while I was getting blown.
What is that from?
I don't know.
That girl's life? I guess she would be getting blown. I get blown. I have guys blow me. I'm gonna get an aneurysm.
I tell guys suck my dick, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Roseanne, huh?"
And they're like, "No, I'm trans."
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, maybe that's what that joke was.
That Roseanne is a trans.
That would
icon?
be funny if like some like never mind. There's that trans person on Euphoria.
Yeah.
Who's like a very like pretty, like they're in one of the Hunger Games movie. They're like a very pretty girl.
Yeah.
It'd be very funny if they're just in the media like, suck my dick.
Suck my dick.
And people are like, oh, that's great. They're like switching gender norms. And then they're just like, no,
I'm horny.
I'm horny.
Blow me.
I still have physiological needs.
Suck it.
And then play with my tits.
Suck my dick and play with my giant tits.
Suck my dick, play with my tits. I'm Lil' Kim and I'm trans as shit. That'd be fun to translate. I mean, there is music like Mickey Blanc. There's plenty of horny, like queer Mickey Blanco. There's plenty of horny queer rappers who are like Cum in my ass. Cum in my ass.
I got cum coming out of my ass.
Cum's coming out of my ass. Now I twerk and the cum dripping out my ass.
Falling on my balls. Got cum falling on my
Now's
balls
the bridge
from
where,
my
where we
ass.
twerk and the cum drips out my ass. Falling on my balls.
Got shit and cum on my balls.
Lick this cum off my bitches, off my
Off my bitches.
off
balls.
my feminine balls. Because it's like somehow a lady.
Suck my sassy balls.
Yeah, yeah. So balls, but like with feminine symbol after
Yeah. Balls and then
her balls.
The Austin Powers necklace symbol.
Oh, do I make you horny, baby? I'm gonna open with that from now on. Oh, do I make you horny, baby? All right, so my name's Dan. It was raining when I drove here. It was
My wife.
my wife.
I drove here in my wife's car.
I was drunk the other day and I kept yelling "my wife" at a bar.
That's great.
It was awesome.
Good for you.
People were playing Cards Against Humanity, like on the sound system of the bar.
What?
And then it was after a comedy show, and they were like, "We're gonna play Cards Against Humanity," and I was like, "I'm gonna play this arcade game," and then ignore you all.
Where was this?
It's in Bloomington.
Ugh.
But then people are like, camping trip with Spock and my wife, and then I would just go, "My wife,"
Why?
and I was just like in a different part of the bar. No one knows I know those people. Like, I'm alone. I'm alone, and it's a town where like other people all know each other, so they're all like,
Who
"This
the
guy's
fuck is
not
that
from
guy?"
here."
No, I am from here.
A marriage to
I know
my wife.
No, I'm from here. Everyone I know doesn't live here anymore.
Everyone moved away. I know the bones of these buildings.
I remember when that gas station was Shell.
If a hurricane comes through this town, I could rebuild it.
I got it memorized.
I know the foundation. That's what's funny in the South, like along the beach and shit, and like where the hurricanes hit. You're like, why is there a random patch of concrete here? And they're like, there's a building there, and then a hurricane wiped it out. And it's like, why didn't they build it back on this patch of concrete? Like, I don't know.
They moved it up.
Yeah, there's like different, there's like old streets everywhere where you're like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just use this again?
Oh.
No, man. So I see that you have Can.
Yeah.
Did you have it out because the Asian fella died?
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
The Chinese man from Can.
What were you gonna say?
Chinese man.
I heard China.
Yeah, I said China me.
Chinamanese.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know he died.
He died.
Damo Suzuki or whatever his name is.
He was that was hilarious.
Oh, that's great. That they just found a crazy person on the street.
Yeah, like that's people are all like, "Oh, we like music." It's like, no, you like comedy and you're dicks. You guys are being mean.
Yeah, this is very.
You're being mean to an Asian foreigner.
Being very anti-immigrant right now.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we'll lock this weird Chinese guy in a room
and play weird, repetitive,
and
droning music,
and just poke him with a stick."
Have him scream.
How'd you write your last album? We denied him food and poked him with a stick. Oh, we locked him in a German castle and tortured a little Asian man.
We have been to Cologne. We have a castle there.
We have a castle.
We keep immigrants there and make them scream.
We tortured a confused Chinese man. We told him he was in a can.
And to scream his way out.
To scream his way out of the can.
Get out of the can, Chinese boy.
Go, Chinese boy, go.
Go. Armed with your tambourine, get out of this can.
Get out of here.
Remove yourself from the can.
That is wild. I mean, it's like, it's one thing to be good at music, but it's another thing to be able to play that live without laughing. Just like, what, how did we do this? Yeah, like if you're Can, you're probably like, man, in 2024, people are probably gonna like be pissed and cancel us.
Yeah.
And then you flash forward, you're like, what? They like it? They don't? Did people not see what we're doing?
A whole new generation enjoys our "we kidnapped a Chinese guy" thing and burned his passport.
We're kind of just krautrock cum town over here. Yeah, like what?
Just come down with an umlaut.
Yeah, you all love this. Someone's like, I've been really inspired by Can, so I'm gonna make folk punk with just an Inuit guy who's confused. We're singing over top. No, it's my new band. I have an elephant, and I gave him a wah pedal. Yeah. I like to think that guy never even knew he was in Can.
He had no idea he was in a band.
Yeah, like they just got a homeless guy and had him sing, and then we're like, back out there, sir.
Now get back on the streets, you dirty Chinese bum.
Can. And then he's like, can what?
Pickles?
You're the guy from Can. What is this, Abbott and Costello? I've since learned English.
And comedy.
And comedy.
What Holger Suske did to me is fucked up.
Holger Suske?
He's one of the guys from Can.
I just know Damo Suzuki. Mooney. Someone's name's Mooney.
I don't know all their names.
Kyle Mooney.
Kyle Mooney.
Can was a Kyle Mooney sketch. He's a Kyle Mooney character where he's like, it's a bunch of German guys in a castle being mean.
And I'm a Chinese man being held hostage.
And they're being mean to the guy.
Oh.
You got a jar of peanut M&Ms over there.
Yeah.
Sealed.
Well, it's not sealed. It's just closed.
It looks like you and your girlfriend for fun have been doing a guess how many. Like she comes home and you have jarred some number of objects.
How many olives?
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's like, why aren't they in a bag? Who opened? How big of a bag of peanut M&Ms did y'all have?
It was the big jug from Costco.
And y'all were like, we better section these off. You know what I mean?
Well,
put some in the freezer. Put some in the pantry. Put some.
Keep some under the kitchen sink.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Some next to the bed.
See if the neighbors need some.
Put a couple in the sock drawer.
Yeah. It's fun too because peanut M&Ms is such a happy, good look.
Yeah.
You could have worse decorating than the peanut.
In terms of candy and, and decor.
Because you rarely see them stacked like that, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool to see a bunch of them.
Pretty fucking cool, dude.
It's pretty fucking cool. No, I might rip that off.
Well, if your girlfriend is anything like mine, you have plenty of cans.
Whoa! Do you have a big jug of
I had. Now they're all in my belly.
But they sell them in a jug?
Yeah.
Like cat litter?
At Costco. Yeah. It really wasn't that much smaller than that thing of cat litter right over there.
Whoa! Yeah.
I assume that's why you said cat litter.
No, I was
because that's a very strange unit of measurement.
I was just picturing a big jug. That's wild. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, but that's the exact.
Cat litter is your idea of what comes in a big jug. Not water.
Yeah. Well, if it was a gallon, you would have been like a gallon of peanut M&Ms. That sounds crazy.
Is it gallon? Can you do solids in gallons?
Hey Reddit, my husband brought home a gallon of peanut M&Ms. And I think he's cheating on me.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Poison the
And
M&Ms.
then all of the comments are just people going, they sell peanut M&Ms in gallons? And then someone's like, technically solid shouldn't be measured in gallons. And then someone's like, well, what if it's a gallon jug? And then 30 comments down.
And then the moderator locks the thread. Says, this has got too heated.
And then 30 comments down is someone going, I don't think your husband's cheating on you, but you should trust is important. There's like a really good response that nobody sees because everyone's arguing about the peanut M&Ms.
The storage.
Hold up, he got McDonald's breakfast at 10:45?
What?
It's just someone being like, my husband's been killed.
My husband was coming home at around noon with his McDonald's breakfast. What? Hold up.
McGriddle team for life. LOL. You can tell this guy's fat. How are you going to say that? And the moderator has locked this.
My husband was coming home with his McRib. What McDonald's was he at?
What? The McRib's back.
That no one told me.
I'm surprised newscasters don't do that more. If I was a newscaster, I'd constantly be biting my tongue.
What?
They'd be like, we're downtown at the new IHOP where a man has been... and it'd come to me, like, back to you in the studio, and I'd be like, when did that White Castle become an IHOP? Anyways.
Man, I haven't been out in Shively in a while. I did not know that was an IHOP now.
Wow. That lady looked pretty young to be a grandmother. They're like, why are you doing reporter facing as the anchor? You know, I used to live in that part of town. I'm just saying that to the co-anchor.
You know, my first apartment was over there.
Can you reel back the footage? Right. A block past
that, and then on the second house on the right, I rented out the basement. That was my first apartment.
This Friday, we're gonna send. I've been told we can't send a reporter. I'll bring in some photos.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if you can still break in with your credit card. I locked myself out a bunch when I was young.
Yeah, our newscasters ever like, and stay tuned for Friday. I'm gonna be wearing a fun tie. And then all week they're like, I got a new tie. Don't forget.
On Friday, I'll be showing you my new tattoo.
Yeah, don't forget. I'm going to do something new with my hair on Monday. Everybody tune in. Seersucker. Anyways,
wait until you see it.
Anyways, the mayor has been shot.
The mayor was shot about 15 minutes ago.
This is truly a tragic day for Kansas City. And then you turn to your co-anchor, and then it zooms out and reveals that you have a weird bowl cut. Like a Swedish boy, like bowl cut. And you're waiting for them to laugh.
Cuts back to you, and you've got the glasses on with like the slinky eyes. Yeah. Tragedy has struck again. What a shame.
Another school shooting.
Bring out your kazoo.
So you've seen Detroiters, right?
Yeah.
So you know they have the news guy in Detroiters who's like the news anchor who's like, David's dunce of the week.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like Bobby's burn of the week.
Yes.
And it's just some news. So that's based off a real Detroit guy. Mm-hmm. And there's this guy on Survivor who he was from the Detroit area. And he was in a season, and he had to be
So he's already a survivor.
True. Hey-o. Yeah, they should. He's probably thinking, Koh Rang, Thailand. This is a walk in the park compared to 8 Mile. I live in Mexican Town. This is nothing. I like Mexican Town because it makes people from Detroit are like, oh, this guy really knows Detroit. And people from everywhere else are like, what?
The fuck did you just say?
What did you just say? It's a place in Mexican Town. I almost moved there out of college.
I almost went to Mexican
Town. I almost
Town.
moved to Mexican Town.
That's what you say as a newscaster.
I almost moved to Mexican Town. They're like, well, those people were Spanish. And
St. Louis rock stars will be in town. You know, I almost, I just love it. He just keeps looking over at the other co-host. Like, yeah. When I got out of college, I almost moved to St. Louis.
Yeah,
I moved here instead because I was dating a girl and she got a job here.
We're doing a chat. More of a chat.
Did you ever meet her? I was with her for a really long time. I think when I first started here, I was still with her.
You would love her. You two hit it off. It'd be weird if I was like, hey, you should hang out with my coworker.
That'd be weird.
But
obviously, you guys are probably never going to meet. But I think if you did, you know what? What are you doing on Friday?
You know what? We could hang out. I got
Takes his planner out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pencil you in.
Mexican Town. Let's go on down to Mexican Town and hang out. With my ex-girlfriend.
Let's get some tamales.
My coworker from the news. You make plans and then you turn to the camera and then you go, and you're all invited too, I guess.
Everyone else can come.
Everybody can come.
But bring cash. The tamale place is cash only.
Cash only.
Like most of the businesses in Mexican Town, if you know what I mean.
Hey. What were we talking about before I got distracted by Mexican Town?
We were talking about Can for a little bit.
It was post newscast or in the news. Oh, that's what. So this guy from Survivor. He's from Detroit, and he fell in a fire. He inhaled a bunch of fire.
On Survivor?
On
or in
Survivor.
Detroit?
On Survivor, but they don't have it on camera, which is like, come on.
Really? I don't believe that even happened.
No, it did. They have him running it. Because they have the camera guy quickly turning and being like,
whoa!
But he's just hanging out over the fire and he inhales a bunch of smoke and then he falls in, like, hands first into the fire.
Of course, that's how you fall.
And then he's like, I grabbed the fire. So he's all blood, and they evacuate him, and they get him out of here, whatever. And then later he's on, like, an all-star Survivor, but I don't know what happens. No spoilers.
Are you watching Survivor, like, from the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because it's a great thing to just have on in the background.
Yeah.
And then you go, what the fuck is this guy up to? And then you Google it, and you go, oh, he's in jail.
He's dead.
This 22-year-old who's a dickhead turned out to be a rapist.
Who knew?
Silas from Germantown, Tennessee. I called it. I said, I don't like this guy. No, so this Michael. He falls in the fire. He gets burned. And then they medically evacuate him, and everyone's bummed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is wild. So when I was reading about him, he does the Survivor All-Star or whatever, and then later he has a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
And he gets busted for having a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And when he's busted for that, he is featured as like the chump of the week for whatever the Detroit guy is.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, as a result of the investigation of the Ponzi scheme, he's caught with a bunch of child pornography.
Yikes.
But when you read it on the Survivor Wiki, that info's out of order. So it's like he was busted for child pornography and a Ponzi scheme and was named Chump of the Week.
And Chump of the Week.
Which makes it sound like he's like, they're like, guess who got busted for child porn with some hot hands? this Survivor Chump.
I bet along with himself, he wished he burned the evidence.
I mean, he should get immunity from ass rape. This Chump of the Week. No, but I found that I was like, this is worlds colliding.
Yeah.
No, Survivor from the start is great because you gotta have something on.
You don't, but
You gotta have some, or else the government can like get in there. That's why they wanted. That's why podcasts became huge and like Spotify and all this shit is because the government wants us always to have stuff on.
Yeah, just put something on.
Get something on.
Get it on.
Get it on.
Turn that TV on.
Get it on.
Get it off the aquarium screen.
Hey, I thought that was
something.
an aquarium. I thought you had a wall-mounted aquarium.
I do wish I had I could
Well, that is a weird and high sensei.
Hisense.
Hisense. That it is a weird enough TV brand that it's like, well, for all I know, that's a company that makes an aquarium.
Could be part aquarium.
Yeah.
I'm part aquarium.
If you had a Sony, I wouldn't be like, Sony makes aquariums. But if at Hisense, I'm like, what is that, an aquarium?
We're in the market
company?
for a new TV. Any
Really?
tips?
What's wrong with this one?
We want a big one.
Whoa. Maybe I'll take this one.
No. We're
Why?
going to keep this one.
Side by side?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that one's going to be on ESPN all the time. Or no, financial news.
I was about to say. You should get like bar TV where you get the package where it's like they have those bars where you can flip. The channels will be like America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
Like
ESPN.
Funny Fails.
QVC.
No, it's not ESPN. They're always like little moment. Like it's just like the internet on a roll.
Oh,
like
yeah.
cute animal videos or like
yeah.
fails or wins or whatever.
Yeah.
You just get that.
Sure.
You just get like a package. Get a TV package, but not like a cable package.
No.
Get like a bar TV.
Yeah, get
package.
yeah.
Like so you can show every pay-per-view.
Yeah. Everyone's over here for the big fights.
Yeah. Get some sort of. You guys should just get as big of TV as you can get.
I mean, we got a dartboard in here.
That's true.
So it's already a little bit of a bar.
Yeah.
I just bought a new blender.
That's not. That sounds like a guy who's opening a bar and doesn't know what he's doing.
He's
like, all right, I got a blender. I got cool custom ice trays.
I got wacky.
The bartender's like, what are we gonna do with these? Like, we fill them up, and they it's got the name of the bar in them. Then there's like 2 of them. He's like, this is the ice we're gonna use. Yeah, just every time you make a drink, fill up the ice.
No, it makes a big ice cube that looks like the Death Star.
Yeah. Every time someone gets a drink, fill up the tray and just put it in the
freezer.
Put it in the freezer.
That would be so funny if you were at a bar and they were like, "Sorry, I'm waiting on the ice to freeze."
The guy's cracking an old school light blue plastic ice thing.
He goes to get it out of the freezer and just flushes water. He's in a rush.
Yeah,
he doesn't realize. Just, oh, jeez.
He's like, I got a bunch of half cubes.
It seems like it was halfway there too. It was so cold.
Man, my dad used to use. He was like, because we had a lot of freezer space.
Yeah.
We had 2 fridges. Fridge freezers and then a chest freezer.
Yeah.
So my dad would be like, "Oh, there's some event coming up.
Basement fridge.
I'm gonna start making ice." You know what I mean?
To save money.
Yeah. So there'd be like a week where there were just ice trays full, like in every free. Like,
How many ice trays did he
and then
have?
slowly, like there's a big bag or bucket or something being filled.
He's like, well, you know what? If we just buy 50 ice trays.
He's like, I got the water.
The water's free.
I got the cold.
I can get shit so cold.
I'm already paying for the cold.
As long as I invest in the trays, they're going to pay for themselves over the years of not buying bagged ice.
Because it's like, well, that's what's going to happen in like 6 months when the economy fully collapses. People will be like, damn, Dan's dad was a genius with his ice system.
Your dad gets invited to a party, and his friend is like, okay, can you get some ice on your way there?
He's like, on the way? You should have told me this weeks ago.
Why did you tell me this last month? I would have been on top of this.
What? I don't have this kind of time. That's my dad's new job, is he makes ice for bars.
He just shows up with a trash bag full of ice.
Yeah, he's like, he shows up the back door of restaurants with a trash bag full of
Got your ice.
I got your ice. I made it fresh.
Your dad should just buy like an industrial ice maker.
That would be awesome. I go home, I'm like, God, it's so cold. No, that would be cool.
And you know ice machines are hot.
I mean, we had that slicer that we never really needed.
Yeah.
So it would have been equally cool if someone was like, I'm getting rid of an industrial ice maker. And we were like, we'll take it.
I'll take that.
We got room in the apartment.
Sure. That would be. And we leave it there when
we
move
out. We get a text from our landlord's daughter a year later being like, I still use that ice maker you all left, by the way.
My dad uses it all the time.
We're having snow cones constantly.
Comes back from his bike ride, puts a couple ice cubes, a bandana, wraps it around his neck.
He takes a trash bag full of ice every day to Mag Bar, and that's what they use. It's like, damn, that could have been us.
Why did we think of that side hustle?
Yeah.
It is weird that ice delivery man was a profession at one point.
It was a huge profession. They're like how ice houses.
What?
Sometimes you'll be a place and they'll be like, the ice house.
Oh, yeah.
And then people will be like, you know, this used to be an ice house.
It was an ice house.
And it's like, well, obviously. But
it got real hot one day and they built a regular building there.
Yeah, that's frustrating because it's like, if people go, you know, this used to be an ice house. It's like, on one hand, the piece of trivia you're saying is cool.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like, duh.
Also, I know, that weird metal prong thing. They have them up all over the walls.
Instead, people should approach that by going like, yeah, this venue, it's called the St. Louis Ice House. Do you know what an ice house is? Because if they're like, this used to be an ice house, you're like, yeah, no shit.
Duh.
That's not a good name for a thing. Ice house.
It's fucking stupid.
We're going to open a comedy club in Pasadena. What should we call it?
Ice
the
House.
Ice House. Like, obviously, it's a fucking...
Those who live in ice houses.
But ice houses are cool.
Install a fireplace.
Shouldn't throw fireballs.
Those who live in ice houses should take up baking.
In Michigan, there used to be an ice house up at my parents' trailer place. But then it was years ago. But people kept climbing it and jumping off.
In the ice?
No, just off the top.
Of a ice?
An ice house.
Oh, okay.
Like a little brick building to put ice in.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid being like, man, that sounds pretty cool.
Ice house.
Ice house.
Rad.
Little room full of ice, and you could jump off the top. Well, apparently you can't. But
I remember we were at some fucking.
How many cool architecture things have been eliminated because kids jumping off the top?
So many. I'm surprised we even have bridges anymore.
There's a little thing to tie up your donkey. And then some fucking 12-year-old's like, look, I'm Superman.
Whee!
And then you're like, oh, nope.
Nope, tear it down. Tear it down.
Get it out of here. What were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. I was on some like field trip when I was a kid at like a plantation or something. Most of our field trips were places where there were slaves in Tennessee.
Yikes. That's a yikes.
And
Tennessee, yeah, I guess Tennessee was a slave state.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Not fun.
Slave state. That makes it sound like it's a state owned by slaves.
That's true.
Which that would be cool.
That would be cool. We should give them one.
And they're all confused. They're like, who's in charge?
Who the fuck is in charge here? None of us know how to, like...
All of us feel, by definition, all of us aren't in charge.
But we were talking about how, like, they had, like, a thing under the house where it's, like, sort of underground.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's colder under there, so that's where they kept things to get cold. I'm like... But how much colder does it get?
I know, right?
When you're like 2 feet underground.
I know.
How fucking much colder is that?
That shit's crazy back then.
Like what? You get a difference of like 5 degrees?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just blow on it a bit?
They mentioned that on Survivor or like old like indigenous like groups around the world. They're like, oh, and they cook the iguana by just burying it in the sand for 3 days, and then the heat of the sun. It's like, come on. Like what?
Get these people a crock pot.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like,
how is it not easier to start a fire?
Yeah.
And yummier.
Like I know we have that expression of like, oh, you could boil an egg on the sidewalk or whatever, but that's not a tip.
You could make a flapjack on this concrete.
You had some sort of batter backpack.
I can bake a cake in my ass right now. It's so hot.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we buried the pig in the dirt for a year. It's like, are you sure I can eat it? Are you sure?
Really?
Why are you all smirking? If this is truly how they cook food, then why is it a challenge? Why are cameras watching me eating it?
Like, I know sometimes restaurants have, like, a challenge, like a big burger. But it's not usually, like, the challenge isn't usually, like, we buried it.
Yeah.
It's cooked.
No,
we challenge you.
Survivor, when they do food challenges, they should just one time be like, food challenge. Who can eat the most 1 pound burgers?
Who can eat the most wings?
And they're like, what? I thought we were going to eat like a silkworm or something.
Who can eat the most wings without picking up a napkin?
Yeah. You're going to split off into pairs of 2 and split a Detroit-style pizza.
Eat this jar of mustard.
That'd be pretty cool. I would love it. That was kind of like what Fish Tank was like.
Is there another season of that yet?
There's season 2, but I didn't watch it. I was just waiting for recaps. But then I heard it's like not that entertaining.
Not as good. I got to go back and watch that shit again. I don't really remember that
Fish
well.
Tank. Oh, is wonderful.
I mean, I remember it being wonderful. That Willy Wonka shit at the end is just fucking amazing.
No, we should get in a food challenge.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
I got a bunch of stuff that I could go in the air fryer. Want to see who can empty the freezer faster?
Let's see who can eat this bag of Tates that I'm going to eat quicker.
Who can eat this bag of Tates that I will not be sharing quicker?
You know, I was actually pretty good at food challenges, especially as a kid. I had a crazy ability to. I used to have a really good metabolism, but then I could eat. Like I'd be 11 and I'd be eating as much as grown men.
Wow. What were you eating?
Pussy. I kept joking because we keep watching Survivor, and then they'll do the reunion special at the end, and they always have like an inside joke. And Jeff, the host, is around, but he's not part of the joke. So we were just laughing at if I was in there, I'd like come in the rice, and then I'd be like, "No, it's good.
Yum yum."
And then I would trick somebody else in the tribe to try it.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, "Got you." And then then me and them would trick another person.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, "Got you. Let's go get Meredith." And then slowly, you know what I mean, it's the whole thing.
And now they've all eaten your cum.
And then at the reunion special, we're like, Jeff's like, "And you all were eating that special rice Dan was making." And I'm like, "Jeff, and we brought some for you." And then on the reunion show, we get to make Jeff eat cum.
You've been food challenged.
That's all I'd be watching Survivor, just me naming things I would do, and then how quickly I would be eliminated. Like I would keep saying we're all great friends.
I fart a lot.
I go, and the most important part is that we're all great friends.
We're all getting along.
I was laughing too because they're always like on the little beach, and there's like 7 of them, and they're like, "Hey, 6 of us are gonna go walk over here and talk. You stay and watch the fire. We're totally not talking about. We're gonna vote you out."
We're not talking shit.
Yeah, I was laughing about it. A great way around that is you just go like, "Hey, Dave, you look horny. You know what? We're going to give you a chance to jack off. Everybody, let's go to the other side of the island so Dave can jack off."
Dave, we love you. Jack off.
You know, or you're Dave and you wake up, you're like, "God, it's so peaceful today in Fiji. None of the other campers are around. It's nice. I was even able to jack off. It's nice to have some time. Oh, no, they're voting me off."
Now that I've came,
they don't care about it.
Now that I've came, I realize the real meaning.
I've been eating my own cum. I just keep saying that. They'd be like, "God, we got to get these coconuts down." I'd be like, "Hey, if I'm hungry, I'll eat my own cum."
I'll just eat cum. I eat cum and I drink piss.
I'll eat my own cum. Shit.
Dan, stop talking about eating your cum. Well, you want me to eat yours too? I'm hungry.
Jeff, I'm hungry.
How long could you live off of just eating your own cum?
Not long. How long did I?
I made it 2 days.
I've never. Everyone's fine on the tribe, and then I'm just like exhausted. And they're like, Jeff's like, "Dan, you were pretty weak in the challenge." And I'm like,
"I've been eating so much cum.
I've only been eating my own cum."
I don't trust that buried iguana.
At tribal council, I'm like, I have to be honest with everybody. I've also been eating Dave's cum. And Dave's like, "What?
How?"
And then it's a rift because I get voted out, but the rest of the tribe doesn't know whether or not Dave was giving me cum. So like I'm voted out, but then next week's episode, it's Dave. Like,
I think Dave was giving it.
That guy
cum.
was crazy. He was just lying, man.
Like, no, I think you were giving.
I don't know. There was that time you two went off to get water. They're always doing shit where it's
Does anyone ever fuck on Survivor?
There have been people like, actually in the season we're watching right now, it's wild because this dude was laying with a lady and then he's getting too grinding up on her and really nibbled her neck to sleep.
Hey, and then he's been living off cum. He's hungry.
Then she was like, "That is not okay. But you got like a newborn baby at home. We're both married, not to each other." And then he's like, "I thought you were my wife. I'm sorry." I'm like, I was just asleep, and I was just like, whatever. And then that lady's like, "Okay, it's cool." And then later she's like, "You know what? It's not cool." And then everyone's like, "She's causing trouble," and they vote her out.
Nice.
And that guy's still in it.
Nice.
I'm still yet to see the guy.
Well, that seems like it could have been an honest mistake.
True.
I think he probably is lying, but that's a pretty solid lie.
We were saying there's an easy way to prove if you're trying to prove it's a mistake. And just the next night, just fuck one of the male castaways.
And see if he gets jealous.
Yeah, and just be like, "Oh, my wife."
Oh, shit.
Oh, you're not my wife.
You're not my wife at all.
My wife.
It's 1998. No one understands what's happening.
No one knows what's going on. No, but there's a couple couples. There's some people who like hook. It seems like they're hooking up. But then apparently only a few people have had sex because they're all like, oh, we're so gross.
Yeah.
But there's a few times where it seems like people are having sex.
Yeah.
In the first season, they tried to imply that these two young, like 20-year-olds are having sex. But apparently it's pretty clear that they're like being sarcastic.
Yeah.
But they just edit it as if they aren't being sarcastic. So it'd be like, oh yeah,
we fuck
when
all
we go
night.
into the woods, it's just sex. And then you can see you're about to start laughing and then they cut it. Right
Pounds
there.
me like a coconut.
Yeah. But then I read online that they were doing that.
Buried his iguana in my mud.
They were doing that to cover up for another couple that was hooking up.
Oh, that's nice of them.
And then there's been a couple that like met and got married on Survivor.
Of course.
He proposed to her at the finale for the like during the jury who will win thing, and then everyone's like, "This is a while."
I would think I would wait until we spend a little time in the real world.
Nah, you're fine.
No context for like how they are in the real world.
You're like
you get home and you're like, so you. I mean, I know we didn't shower on the island, but you don't do that at home.
You don't
either?
shower?
No, I'm fine.
So you wipe with your hand on land.
You just do that.
That's just your move.
Huh.
You want me to come in the rice here?
I notice you're still eating a lot of lizards.
Yeah.
They're free. Huh. Wow. Okay.
What do you mean, where's the cameraman gonna stay? There's the cameraman with you? No, but there's some season, because I looked that up, if couples have had sex, who's been having sex?
Who's fucking?
Who's fucking? And apparently there's a season, because their loved ones come, and they often do it where it's like, hey, look, it's everyone's person here.
Yeah.
And then they're like, whoever wins the challenge gets to actually hang out with their person, and everyone else, just a quick high five. But usually they kiss, and then sometimes it's like, they're like, oh, damn.
God damn,
they did a little grind on that 10-second kiss on national TV. But apparently there's a season where it's like the two people who could win that challenge are like a guy in his early 20s whose mom came to visit, and then like a 40-year-old guy whose like wife came to visit.
Yeah.
And then apparently he like gives some speech to the kid where he's like, there's things that a man needs from his wife, and I have not been with my wife. You don't need to be with your mom. I need to be. And people are like, that's a weird speech. And then people in context are like, oh, he's talking about fucking his wife.
Yeah.
He's like giving a speech to some kid where he's like, we've been out here 30 days. I really need to fuck my wife.
I gotta fuck my wife. Like, what? You want to talk to your mom?
You want to give your mom a hug?
What?
He's
like, does not compare to how horny I am
my
right
balls
now.
are going to burst on TV.
This is a medical emergency.
Yeah.
I got blue balls.
I'm about to fill that rice vat.
I'm nibbling on this bitch's neck in my sleep.
Yeah.
I'm losing it, man. I'm fucking losing it.
They give him condoms, though. Apparently, you can just get condoms at any time. They can just sort of go like, condom, and then a crew is like, here you go. which I would be using condoms like for stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be like...
That seems like a valuable resource.
I know. I'd be like, hey, let's all just pretend to fuck a lot and then make like a roof out of the condom. We'll make some sort of roof.
Yeah. It's a building material.
I made a windsock.
Westerly. All right, it's hour 8.
No, that's why. Have you ever watched Survivor? We'll wrap it up here. You never?
Nah.
You should. It's wonderful.
I was more of I didn't really watch it.
The early seasons are crazy because it's like, it's when they're like, yeah, each season will have a gay guy, but each season will also have some guy going like, yeah, it's me and the fruit out here. I didn't think as a 50-year-old Navy SEAL I'd ever be sharing a coconut with a fruit, but here I am.
Sharing my fruit with a fruit.
In the first season, the guy who wins, it's like this gay guy, Richard Hatch, and there's like a bro 20-year-old dude on
Dick Hatch.
Dick Hatch. Great name for a vagina.
Get in my dick hatch.
Yeah. But Richard Hatch, he's like, there's one cast member who just keeps saying this thing. He's like, I love your idea of fat, funny, and then he says the F2GOT. with $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's the quote he keeps saying. And he keeps going, I love that idea. But they never like show what he means by that. So at some point,
is he saying he loves the idea of giving the
he's like
$1 million?
He's like Richard Hatch should win it because that's so funny. Like a big fat funny F word with $1 million. And
great.
The way he keeps saying it makes me think one time on the beach, Richard Hatch was like,
I'm a big fat beep.
I'm a big fat funny boot, and I'm gonna give it. And then some dumb bro just kept being like, I'm gonna keep repeating.
Dude,
this.
that is so funny.
But he says it like twice on the show, and then also on the reunion show.
Like the reunion show, what, 10 years later?
No, the reunion show is like a few months later, but it's in front of a big audience, and they've all had time to like shower, and have someone go, "Don't say."
Oh yeah, there's plenty of time.
Stop saying that on TV.
Plenty of time to say, "Don't call Mr. Hatch a big fat funny boop
with $1 million."
I know, like, listen, I kind of get your sentiment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like you have a problem with
No,
it.
that's what's weird. Is it's like he doesn't have a problem, but also it's like, do you think the show's won by who has the best pitch? Like, who is the best, like... All right, here's my premise. 2 clowns split $1 million. Roller skates. Dusters.
Pogo sticks. Kazoos.
Yeah. What's your pitch? I'm gonna, just be a mom, take care of my kids, make sure they can go to college. Boring. What's your pitch? And Richard Hatch comes out dancing with a big belly.
I'm a big fat funny boop.
You've won.
Spreading his asshole open.
Shark Tank presents Survivor.
Sucking his loincloth into his ass.
That would be awesome. There's this thing, because
I got suction!
On the Survivor wiki, they have trivia, and a lot of the trivia is just dumb Survivor bullshit.
Yeah.
Because Survivor is crazy fans.
Yeah.
So the trivia will be like, it'll be on like Jenny's page.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, Jenny was the first person who ever wore the headband on their right arm. And then there'll be like an asterisk that's like, actually in season 5 Dave did, but they didn't show it. like it's like crazy. But there's one that we saw because a buff. There's this material they have called a buff. That's that like headband thing.
Okay.
That has like the color of the tribe.
Oh yeah.
But it's very versatile, so you can wear it like a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a very interesting style of material.
Okay.
But you can wear it as like a tube top. And so in the wiki, it would be like, so-and-so is the first person to wear it as a tube top. Because that was in season 2, and at the time, it was like, ooh.
Ooh.
And then someone wore it as a skirt, and that one was listed.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing at me going on Survivor, which at this point, I think it says season like 50. And then getting the trivia thing, Dan was the first guy to wear the buff as a skirt.
And it was not long enough.
And Dan was the first guy to wear the buff as a tube top.
Not long enough.
Yeah, just my dick head hanging out of the end of a little skirt while I'm in the sand ready to do a challenge. We were laughing because it always starts with Jeff Probst on they're like on a boat or some shit, and they can't talk to each other until it starts. So they're all just quietly on a boat, and then Jeff Probst is like, "We're here with whoever, all these people.
So many people are here.
A bunch of fucking people.
Holy shit!
I've done this so many times. I'm like a teacher. I keep meeting 20 people, and then they move on.
I'm not doing names this year.
I mean so much to them. They mean nothing to me." Someone's just like, "Hey, you're about to drop me off in the middle of the ocean. You're being mean."
I know, and you are stupid.
You shouldn't do this. They're laughing. He does that, and he's like, "And this season's different because this season."
Why don't you put a buff in that mouth of yours, huh?
This season, I'm on the team, and then he rips off his shirt and reveals that he has like a Survivor shirt and jumps in with everybody else.
Yeah.
And then I know because everyone would be like, "What? Jeff's on the show."
Yeah, they're like, "Why are there only 19 of us?"
And then in my mind, Jeff instantly gets voted out.
Yeah, man, you've always been a dick.
You've been a dick, and he knows too much.
Yeah, you know way too much. You're gonna win.
Yeah. The other thing that'd be funny is just Jeff going all the way, but clearly being aided by the crew. and he just keeps going, "I remember to do this one."
Oh yeah, I remember this puzzle.
And then also he just can't handle it. He's just like, "These bugs are crazy.
God damn.
I haven't had a good meal in weeks."
Quit coming in my rice.
He's coming in my rice.
Oh. All right.
Well, I think dinner's on.
Who's the fuck in there?
Why don't they use